After some, I think, 8 days here in Las Vegas, it's time to head to Austin from Las Vegas Airport, where there are poker machines everywhere, of course. I'm going American First Class, which would be business class. Took about 15 minutes to get through security. Now it's time to head out to D's Nuts.
Safe travels, au revoir. See you later.
TikTok famous. I'm in seat 1F today on this Boeing 737-823 aircraft. These are very comfortable seats. There is some recline in them, but not a lot. But it's only a 2.5 hour flight. Now, what I'll be interested to see is if we get a decent meal. Lunch has just been served, and how was it? Well, I started off with a broccoli salad, which was stunning. Yeah, stunning. And this is an American airline, a US airline. Main course was a ravioli, which was above average, and the lemon tart was fantastic. Was it up to the standard of, say, British Airways or Air France? I tell you what, if it wasn't far short of it. So that has really changed my opinion of catering on this airline anyway, on American, quite dramatically. Good news for me is that we arrived 22 minutes early, and I was thoroughly impressed with the food on that flight. Now I've got to go and pick up a car, and I think you're going to find this a most interesting choice. Well, actually it wasn't my choice. I was upgraded by F42, who contacted me just before the flight and said, "Do you want this?" I said, "Yeah, I want that." These are the guys from F42. It was a bit of a hike to find them because it was up here on the 3rd level, but they have a little tent, and we simply come up, grab our keys, and we're off. So I have a black Dodge Charger, which is a pretty hot sports car. It's not quite as fast as my Turbo 911 Porsche, but it is a nice change to some of the most of the more tame cars that I normally get. It was about a 25-minute drive to the Hyatt Regency, where I stayed for 5 nights for the Austin race. And if you'd like to see a recap of what happened over that race weekend, click on the link in the description below. So tonight I've come to the Pasta Bar, which is a quite remarkable experience. It's very similar to the one I went to in Montreal. You might have seen my video there. So we had, how many courses did we have? 11. Beef, the sauce was magnificent. So if you're in Austin, come to the Pasta Bar, you'll love it. Well, people, 4.5 hours sleep last night, and now it's checkout time. I'm on my way to Mexico City, and I've spent 5 nights here at the Hyatt Regency, which is a good hotel. Nothing spectacular, and horribly overpriced, as every single hotel in this city is. In fact, it is now cheaper for you to stay in Las Vegas over the Grand Prix weekend there than it is to stay in Austin, Texas. Well, this is amazingly treacherous conditions for driving in this morning. Heavy rain. Thank God this didn't happen while we were at the track yesterday. Thankfully, Austin Airport is not big enough for it to have an off-site car rental return headquarters, so park it in the car park and walk across to the terminal. Well, as can be expected, this is crazy busy out here this morning. There's quite long lines for the TSA check-in, but thankfully I'm well early. Well, it took 15 minutes to get to the part where you had to go and be screened by a dog, and then screened by a human, then screened by a machine. But they use the analogic machines, which means you don't have to take anything out of your bags, and you don't have to take your shoes off, which is a nice touch. Well, as far as I can tell, there is no Aeromexico lounge in this airport, but I've popped up here to the Admirals Club, which is an American Airlines lounge. And I've come in, no questions asked. Anyway, I'm seated now and had a look around the lounge. It's a little bit pokey, but I have had some very nice scrambled eggs with bacon, which was fantastic, some yogurt and a banana.
A little closer. There you go, that works.
Well, I can tell you that this is an Embraer 190, seats 99 in total, 11 in business class, well, first class as the US call it, and an 88 behind me. But in this front cabin, there are 8 seats on this side, and there are 3 on the other side, so it's a 1-2. Plane's about 11 and a bit years old, and we're going to have a wet runway for takeoff. We're now airborne, but we're about probably 35 minutes late taking off. But on this flight, I don't know what we're having food-wise, but we get a pillow and a little blue ruggie. Well, there is no food on this plane. Well, no meal anyway. There's some treats, a whole lot of crap in a basket, which is typical on a lot of the US airlines on short flights. And this one is all of about 90 minutes. Luckily, I had that bite to eat in the lounge. Gracias. Well, finally through immigration and customs, and I can tell you that if you are in a hurry, this is not the airport for you. This is 3 times in a row my bags have come out near last, despite paying a premium for priority baggage. So this is the entry to the airport, and I'm waiting for an Uber, and these guys behind me are just touting for taxi fares, but you never take them, ever, because you don't know if they're a scam or not. Check-in time at the apartment was not until 3 p.m, so I decided to rent a hotel room for 6 hours and ended up at the MX Grand in Polanco. 403. This one here. Oh, they're cleaning. Hola. And this is a beautiful little room, and it's pretty darn good value. I think this works out to about 200 US a night. If you were to take a full night, I'm not taking a full night, obviously, but the only thing is, there is no air conditioning. And that's a deal breaker for me, unfortunately. But you do get a fan down here. But the thing I really probably like about this more than anything is the fact that you have a balcony and you have some sort of connection to the city. I just hate hotel rooms where you don't get any noise, you don't hear what the city's like. And this is extremely nice in terms of the trees, isn't it? And a pleasant surprise, get some free drinks in the fridge. Decided to go for a walk a few blocks down from this little apartment and find a steak for lunch, but I often notice this rather orange light in the sky, and it's particularly evident this morning and often out at the track. My guess is it's just light cutting through smog. Comments below if you know more. There are lots of these little stalls on the side of the road here, which I'm not sure I should be eating with my weak stomach, but it looks good. Decided to stop at Salon Rios for lunch, and unfortunately my Spanish is appalling. I can say "Donde está el baño?" "Por favor," "Gracias." What else? "Si habla no español." But that's about it. So we took a few minutes, and in the end I just settled for some tortillas because it seemed like I knew a bit about that. And definitely no cilantro, no coriander. I hate this stuff. But I love this area. I love the trees, which are well established. Don't so much like all the power lines that remind me of Japan. And everyone's pretty helpful, even though I don't speak any of their local language. I'm an embarrassment. And for those who haven't heard, Mexican Coke is renowned to be the best in the world because it's a different recipe somehow. So that's what I'm having now. Gracias. Cheers. We have the salsa music playing, and we have some salsa here with some corn chips. The orange one here, what's this like? A little bit of a tang to it, but thankfully no coriander. Maybe it's a bit peanutty. Then there's the red one, like a weak tomato sauce with a bit of tang. I will try this green one, but I don't think I'm going to like it. No, I'll take that back. It's good. It's got no cilantro. It's got a bit of oil and some sort of, maybe it's avocado. Hard to tell because I don't speak any Spanish, and these people here speak no English. So we're making a few hand gestures and using Google Translate. We'll get by. Gracias.
Buen provecho, señor.
Well, that's not quite what I expected, but it's all of 160 pesos. And look at it, it's a fair feast. I'm worried it's going to be spicy hot. Oh, it is very good, and it's not too spicy for me. Well, got out of jail there. What is it? don't know. I have no doubt some of you will know. It was really good and I didn't expect to like it that much. Just I couldn't find any Western food around here. Well done to me for getting into the local culture so early and not being disappointed. Now it's back to the hotel for some work. I do like the fact that the police standing around here near this restaurant gives you some sort of reassurance that something does go wrong. You might get some help. In past years I've stayed at a couple of different hotels here, but they're now so darn expensive I thought I'd try an apartment. And I found this right in the heart of Polanco, which is the upmarket area. But the best thing of all about this place, apart from the 2 bedrooms, which I'll only use one, is this outside deck. I love having the ability to open up doors and be connected to the outside world. And this would be about half of what I paid for my hotel room last year, and it's probably 3 times the size. And they've thought of everything, even down to the safe, which is pretty handy, except, look at this. You just pick it up and walk out with it. Not that effective. There's one thing before I go, please subscribe. Some of you aren't subscribed, and it beggars belief that that's the case. So hit the subscribe button, like the video if you've liked it. Enjoy the traffic noise down here. This is Mexico, and you'll find a whole lot more content and interesting things to buy in these sites here. Thanks for watching, and stay passionate.